Today in the Quadratec Academy, I'm going to show you how to take the interior of your Jeep Wrangler TJ from looking like a dirty mess back to factory fresh. Hey, Rob here for Quadratec.com. Welcome to another episode of the Quadratec Academy. Before we get into today's job, if you like watching these videos, do me a favor and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're sure to catch all of our latest how-to videos as well as product reviews and plenty more. Now, chances are if you have a 97 to 06 Jeep Wrangler TJ, well, your interior is probably in a pretty similar shape to this one, and it's probably starting to show its age. Well, I'm going to show you a great way that you can breathe some new life into your older Wrangler by getting this old carpet out of here and putting a new replacement down inside of your Jeep. Now, of course, you could probably hit this with a vacuum cleaner, some carpet shampoo, and spend days, if not, well, multiple days, cleaning up the interior to get it looking new. But there's a much easier way, and there are multiple options for you out in the world of replacement parts. Now, there are some options that'll give you a vinyl type replacement interior for the flooring in your Wrangler that's very easy to wipe clean. There are also some options out on the market that replicate the look of a sprayed in bed liner for a really rugged off-road look. Today, we're going to be installing a replacement carpet set from ACC Auto Custom Carpets that replicates the look of the factory carpets. It comes with all the pieces we need to completely replace all of the carpeting inside of our Jeep, and when we're done, it's going to look like it just came out of the factory. We're even going to take the opportunity to install the optional under carpet insulation that's going to help reduce some road noise. It's also going to reduce some of the heat that transfers up through the floor from things like our engine and our transmission. Now, before you get started, we went ahead and we got all of our interior seats removed from our Wrangler. Now, it's not totally necessary to do that to change out the carpet in your Jeep. I know I pulled some carpet out of my Jeep to wash it off after a really rough day on the trail and put it back in without removing the seats. But by doing so, it's going to give us better access to really get a chance to thoroughly clean our Jeep inside before we install our new flooring. Now, we're even going to hit some of this surface rust that's developed with a wire wheel and touch it up with a little bit of spray paint just to prevent that rust from spreading any farther. Now, since we already have our seats out of the way, the next thing we have to do is go ahead and get our center console out of the way, and then we can get to removing our carpet. Shift forward drive into 4 low. Unscrew our manual transmission shift knob. If you've got an automatic transmission, pull up on the T handle while depressing the interlock button. Next, we can remove the shift boot by pressing in from the front, lifting it up, and slipping it off. Now we can remove the first 10mm bolt hidden by the shift boot. Followed by 2 10mm fasteners at the bottom of our center console storage. We got 2 more 10mm fasteners on the passenger side of the console. Finally, we should have 1 more fastener in our cup holder here, but it looks like we've got a nickel lodged on top of it. Finally, we can get to that last 10mm fastener. Now, depending on the specific year of your TJ, you may have a few different fasteners on your center console, of course, dependent on whether you have a manual or automatic transmission, and if you've got that factory center console subwoofer found in a few of the years of the TJ. With this, we can go ahead and get our center console out of the way so we can get onto the carpet. Now, with our console out of the way, there's really no specific order we need to follow when removing the carpet. Simply work your way around the Jeep, popping off these snaps. You're also going to have a couple of these plastic clips up under the dash. And we can go ahead and start taking out piece by piece until we have all the carpet removed from our Wrangler. Now, with the carpet out of the front of our Wrangler, it's time to get the 3 sections out of the back here. I'm going to go ahead and open the tailgate up. And if you guys happen to have some tailgate hinges on your Wrangler that sound like that and you want to know how to replace them, let me know down in the comment section below. If there's enough interest, maybe we'll make a video to show you guys just how to do that. We can get on to pulling out these wheel well pieces now. Now that we've got everything removed from the interior of our Wrangler, this is a great time to go ahead and assess the condition of the floor pan of your Jeep. Now everything in here looks really solid. We do have a little more rust than I care for on that driver's side floor pan, so we're probably going to come back and take care of that with some Pour 15 in the future. But as I mentioned earlier, for now, we're going to go ahead and hit some of these light surface rust spots with a wire wheel and some spray paint to take care of those. And then of course, we're definitely going to give the interior a really good vacuum to clean it up, wipe it down. This is a great opportunity to go ahead and replace any torn boots on our shifter as well. So once we have all that taken care of, we can move on to getting our new carpet installed in our Jeep. So now that we've got our floor nice and cleaned up, we touched up some of those surface rust spots, we can go ahead and drop in this insulation pad that's going to install underneath of our carpet just to help provide some additional insulation for both road noise and heat transmission up through our floor pans. Once we get these all situated, we can come in and start laying in the carpet. Now with our insulation in place, we can go ahead and start laying in each section of carpet, starting here in the back. Most of this should be able to simply tuck into place. We may have a few spots where we need to cut around things like our seat belts and the roll bar. And you can use your factory pieces of carpet that we removed earlier as a template and a guideline for where to make some of these cuts. So now we can move on to the driver's side wheel well. And just make sure that you're paying attention to all your wiring harnesses and tucking the carpet in behind everything as you go around the Jeep. And we can lay in the center section, making sure we pull through our seat belts. Now we can move on to the carpet for the rear seat. Now we can move on to the door sill area and the driver front seat. And you want to make sure you don't forget to push the carpet over the studs behind the pedals and reinstall the two clips to hold the carpet securely in place. You may have to cut some slots in the carpet to push it over the studs if they're not already in place. Now repeat the same thing we did on the driver's side here on the passenger side. And then the passenger footwell carpet. Now you can see what a difference it makes spending just a little bit of time at replacing the interior carpet here in our TJ Wrangler. It's really going to make the time we spend behind the wheel that much more enjoyable, and it just freshens up the overall look inside of our Jeep. Of course, we've got a few more parts to put back together. We've got to get our seats back installed here in our Jeep, but we're not going to do that right now because we've got something else in store for this Jeep. So you're going to want to make sure that you guys are subscribed and stay tuned for that one. If you guys have comments or questions about getting some new carpet or lining installed in your Jeep, you can always leave those for us in the comment section below or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. Until next time, guys, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trail or right here in the Quadratec Academy. But for now, we've got to get the center console back in.